Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Shadowrun Returns with me, Cornish-Knight, and our character. Here she is. Her name is Cornish-Knight. She's a dwarf. She's also a mage, so that means we can absolutely wreck face. And if you jump in here quickly, this is what we should be having. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have a spell book, which means that we can't use magic, which really sucks. Also, there is the ley line system, which gives us lots of lovely bonuses if we can actually get on top of them. Unfortunately, we don't have anything besides... yeah, we don't have anything. No cyberware, though we can't really use it. This is something that's interesting in this game, which is that you can get cyber augmented, which is really cool. Unfortunately, if you're a magic user like I am, it basically reduces your ability to use magic, because obviously magic is a very organic, fluid thing, and technology doesn't really work well. We can got basic clothing. Here's Cornish. Well, Cornish-Knight. That really did not go well, did it? Yeah, well. What our mission is that did I switch? Sam, our friend Sam, is dead. Well, I say Sam, he was more like an acquaintance. Sam Watt's bodies ended up here in this particular... they call them basically organ grinders. They're chop sops, organic chop sops. So let's get on with it, shall we? I'm in the back. I wonder who that is. The smell of death and decomposition of Soviet, you're only slightly masked by the minty fake fresh of industrial grade antiseptic. Well, isn't that pleasant? Take it that's the good... well, I say Dresden. Dresden, that's an interesting name. If you ever read the Harry Dresden Files, which is a very good book series set up, and I believe it's in... oh, what was it? It was not Chicago? Is it Chicago or Seattle? No, I think it's Chicago. I take it that's our friend. That looks like Sam Watts. So here's the tech expert. Hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf, whistling a tune. His broad grin says, "I love my job," a little more than you want to expect from someone in the chop sop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a lopsided grin, and something kindled kindly in his eyes, though it might just be the stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. That's Mr. Dresden right there. Sorry, I didn't expect a visit at this hour, and some asshole at corporation took my receptionist. What can I do for you, ma'am? Are you the coroner? I'm John Dresden, the organic grinders branch manager here, so yes, that makes me this franchise area's coroner too. And you are? I'm Cornish-Knight. I'm here about Sam Watts. Cornish-Knight. I represent a man named Sam Watts, and I'm here to look into his murder. No one you ever heard of. Now tell me about Sam Watts. Cornish-Knight, and I'm here about Sam Watts. His grin fades, and what makes you think, and what you make, his grin fades, and what makes you think I know anything about that? He replies. Sam has a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here. I see, murmurs Dresden. Well, you're right, he's here. Not so many people know about the murder yet, though. The press hasn't caught wind of it yet. What with it being all out the way out here in the Barrens. So who told you he was dead? Sam did when his heart stopped. 100,000 new yen was wired to a security account in my name. I find killer, I get paid. Sam took a ghost. When his heart stopped, I got a sent of recorded messages asking me to bring his killer to justice. Guess he had a hunch. Right, we can either admit that we're basically getting paid for this, or we can admit that we're basically vigilantes here for street justice. Let's get paid. Well, he may actually want some of the money. I don't want to tell him that. The dwarf raises an eyebrow, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. A dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here. Dresden. He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third one was downtown. Emerald City Ripper? Sounds grisly. Ripper her. I guess the classics never go out of style. Well, we're academics, we'd know about Jack the Ripper, even though he's like, by this point in the world, like they're in 2072, I think it is. Let me just check. 2079. So if they're in 2079, Jack the Ripper is like, he's like basically the equivalent of like Napoleon for them by this point. I mean, like he's like he'd be like a really historical figure by this point. He'd be like, when was Jack the Ripper running around? He's running around at the end of the 19th century, so you're looking at like more than 200 odd years old, like, character. So yeah, that sounds about right. Ripper her. I guess the classics never go out of style. Besides, not my title. That's what the Seattle press insisted on calling the killer. All I know is that, like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel. But this one's even more twisted. He or she always removed an internal organ from the victim. Interestingly, I don't know, I had to double check, but I'm pretty sure that the whole Jack the Ripper being like a surgically trained doctor is actually like a myth. I'd have to double check that myself, or if you lords and ladies who are watching this want to, but I'm pretty sure the whole Jack the Ripper having like surgical training was basically something that the press mentioned, but not something that was actually on the corpses that he did. But I can't be totally sure. But this one's more twisted. He or she always removed an internal organ from the victim. Oh, that's interesting. What prize did the Ripper take from Sam? Delicious, a trophy taker. What was it? And what prize did the Ripper take from Sam? His liver. Watt's liver was cleanly cut out. How about the other lucky contestants? The first victim's heart was missing, and the third had the spleen removed. Ugh. Dresden, get out here! Shouts a deep, thundering tone from the main morgue. So there's some stuff we can get hold of. I hear about the new Ripper victim, Sam Watts. Let's see what he's got. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgical sheet. His face is ashen white for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest there is a small pencil, thin incision, covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the Ripper knew exactly what he wanted, what they wanted from him, and took it. Yeah, so this guy actually has training. Small like keyhole, like, no, that's not keyhole surgery, but small like incisions, like precise incisions for organs. This is not something easily done while under pressure. Next to Sam are several plastic envelopes containing the evidence found in his body. You can examine the evidence through the bag without spoiling it. Look at the business card. Moving things around, you make it out, but this is a card for the place called the Seamstresses Union. There's something handwritten on the back, but the blood has made it illegible. Look at the cred stick. This is a cheap, unsecured cred stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. Well, I'll take the cred stick. You slot the cred stick into your PDA. 300 new yen is added to your account. Well, he's dead. He doesn't need it. He would want us to use it to catch his killers. Look at the purple shirt. It's Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing, and the blood has been thoroughly soaked in. The bag slosses a bit in your hands. That's pretty unpleasant. Though I don't know if it would slosh or not, because blood like coagulates and like congeals quite quickly. Though I suppose if it's into a material, it might take a bit longer. It would you'd basically get like a squidgy, like if you drop the soot on the floor, it'd make a sound, because obviously it's a soaked cloth, like a soaked material. Look at the handwritten note. You can only see part of the note, given the torn off bits and blood stains. Sam, I feel terrible that we are. I'm probably say it's going to be argued. We have been. part too long. I want to say I'm sorry. See you there, love, Jessica. So obviously someone that he knows. It sounds like it's either like his girlfriend, or the thing is, like, if you put love Jessica on the end of it, it's either going to be like your girlfriend or boyfriend, or your partner, I should say, or a family member perhaps. Whoever they've had with has had an argument, so they could have killed him or got someone to kill him, you never know. Crime passionnel and all that. Put down the evidence bag. What's in here? Picked item up, basic medikit. The most basic medikit that heals you or any team member consumed when used. So it's a once item, okay? So who's this one? Who's he? McCluskey. Massive looking orc. Towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of centre casting. If you ignore the tusks, pointy ears, and Neanderthal brow, you can smell his cheap artisan from a mile away. Yeah, he's an orc. He's not a troll. Trolls have horns and are bigger than that. So this new Ripper victim, Watts, name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? Declares McCluskey. The coroner frowns. So you insisted at the time. McCluskey chuckles. Come on, see off the self. I had it on very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. The wrist Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's badge. Dresden sighs. I've already posted everything I know. He retorts. The killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed, with a slim hand that knows its way around a scalpel, has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy too. So I'm looking for a whacked-out surgeon, mutters McCluskey. Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. To be honest, they do some of that today. I think some of the laser cutting. I know they use obsidian. Like obsidian scalpels, they use like obsidian is volcanic glass, and it's like insanely sharp. The Aztecs and Incas used obsidian in their tools. They were very advanced Stone Age societies that never really developed metal tools, to my knowledge. I had to double check, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. That they were like considered to be like the most advanced Stone Age societies, cultures, I should say, Stone Age cultures in the world at the time. I mean, their obsidian tools are incredible. Could be anyone from the military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado, declares Dresden. McCluskey, you're no damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You notice superhuman powers of observation. Quick interesting note: Lone Star aren't actually government police. They're not like this is in 2079. The police, most police forces aren't actually government run. They're not like civil police force. They're not like the New York police force or the British or like the Metropolitan Police Force. They're basically private security contractors. Lone Star basically a private security firm who runs security. So they play pretty hard and loose with the law. Who the hell are you? I'm nobody who didn't hear nothing. I'm new in town. You're the welcoming committee. If I had more strength, know your business, Lumpy. None of your business, Lumpy. Are you a detective on this case? I'm hired by Sam Watts to assist you in finding the killer. Let's go with this. I'm nobody who didn't hear nothing. McCluskey, that's right. And if you ever do hear something, I'll knock it right out of your head. He looks back at the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I'm putting someone in a cell or a box this week and claiming my promotion. Charming fellow. Is there anything here we can grab? No, I just want to actually just check something quickly for a moment. Oh wait, no, that's of course, yeah. One of the things I do not like about this game is that you don't have any, there's no key bindings. So it's, well, there's no obvious key bindings, there's no way I can go to find out key bindings beside the internet. So let's see what Dresden has to say about this. Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? I'm great at dinner parties too. I don't do friends. Well, he didn't really seem like the type. I'm great at dinner parties too, you reply, chuckling. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me. You really gonna work for the dead man? Sam was when I needed him. I'm going to return the favour. Job's a job, and this one pays better than most. Yes, so that, to be honest, we're like mercenaries. Like, Sam was an okay bloke, but he was literally like an acquaintance to us. And we need money. A job's a job, and this one pays better than most. Fascinating again. Detective McCluskey isn't interested in anything but Detective McCluskey. He'd convict his own mother if it meant another 10 yen a week in his paycheck. Plus, he's on the take. Dresden pauses, considering. You have honour after a fast, and I try to honour the dead in my work, so we have that in common. What can I do to help? On the take, who's paying to hold his lease? I don't know, but someone with some major pull has been looking out for McCluskey's career and wallet. Okay, that's worrying. If we get on his bad side or someone's bad side, McCluskey would be sent after us then. What was it that McCluskey said about Sam's mother? The official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago. Aren't you the official in that sentence? You don't buy that. Sounds like you disagree with the findings. My name's on the report, but my actual findings left some doubts. I can't say that it wasn't suicide, but there was unusual bruises on her upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it. Ooh, okay, that sounds suspicious. So either like McCluskey killed her, or someone else did and covered it up. I mean, that could be why they went for Sam. I mean, if you think about it, like, this is getting grim. Let's get on. Well, they could have killed him because something to do with his mother, but what about the other victims? Unless he's doing something straight out of like her Agatha Christie novel, like in the ABC Murders, one of her books, where the murderer is only actually after one person and he's killing like a bunch of other people to cover it up. Spoilers. What are organs worth these days? Who still use scalpels? Have you heard of the Seamstresses Union? I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? What are organs worth these days? A whole healthy body can be worth a bunch of new yen, but individual organs not worth as much anymore. What with all those synth and cyber stuff on the market these days? Organ grinders only deal in recently deceased. There's plenty of other chop shops that aren't as picky, though, and they don't care where the body comes from either. I suppose that's actually like a major thing, because like when you're in a universe where you can just like, well, when you're in a time period where you can just clone organs, what's the point in stealing them? Because like if you get caught, it's like a massive risk. It's just easier just to basically grow a whole bunch in a tube somewhere, or in a vat or something, and sell them on the cheap. Who still uses scalpels? Doctors still learn how to use them in their first year of medical school, as do coroners, but neither press and uses them as much anymore. It's possible some of the slimier chop shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look. Have you heard of the Seamstresses Union? It's a nearby club in the Barrens that attracts lowlifes. You'll probably like it. Me, I'm not really the going out type. Always too much to do around here, plus they're just easier to get along with. That is true. Actually, wait, this is the Shadowrun universe, so the problem is the dead could come back to life and then they'd be really unpleasant to get along with. Sorry, just having a drink of water. It's nothing. You've got to imagine, like, this must be actually quite like. Actually, I suppose that's actually why they've got what looks like incinerators set beneath them or something, with hatches that open in case they come to life and you want to just drop them straight in or something, or at least freeze them. I mean, do you really want to be in a morgue when a bunch of zombies wake up? Not my thing, thank you very much. I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? Justin looks up at you intensely for a moment before speaking. You know I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers in the back and see if you find anything useful? Okay then, Okay then, I'll go do that. Do you know where the murderer site is or not? Justin says nothing. A sly smile plays across his face as he turns back to his work whistling a tune. Okay, because that's not creepy at all. Okay. Is there anything in here? There's that. I'm trying to remember what the bottom was to bring stuff up, and there we go, caps lock. I will say I have played this game just a little bit, but the controls, the problem is because you play so many games when you do YouTube, you just forget which buttons do which. Let's go over here quickly and check that out. Basic medikit, Dr. Wagon basic trauma kit. What's that? Oh, we got karma points as well to spend. Right, so what can we pick up? We've only got 2 points, so not a lot. Spell casting we can't do anything with. Main component for calculating times of hit conjuration spells. I don't know. The thing is, I have no experience playing as a mage in this game. I played of the playthrough, like not the playthrough of the experience I have playing this game. I played it with a straight up, basically run and gun character. I had basically a gunslinger kind of character, so I don't really have any experience. To be honest, you can't really buy anything, and I don't really just want to waste points. I think I might save them for now. What do we have? A couple of first aid kits. A trauma kit. Restore teammate to life for 25% of the total health consumed and used. So this is how the game works. If someone goes down in this game and bleeds out, the only way you get them back up is using a trauma kit. You can't use first aid kits. So, and because each item in this game takes up an equipment slot, you have to really balance how many of these things you bring along. Normally I bring along one with each person, just in case someone goes down. If, like, to be honest, if you're in a fight where you're using like more than 4 trauma kits, you're in some really bad trouble. Plus they're massively expensive in this game, and you have a set amount of resources. Okay. The code storage drawer is labelled John Doe, but the internal thermostat is set to 21 degrees Celsius. That's like body temperature. No, that's not body temperature. I thought the body temperature is like 28 degrees or something, isn't it? It's higher than 21 degrees, but this is like room temperature then. Open the drawer. The cold storage drawer opens to reveal the fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest. In addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen, the body seems to be in the very good condition. Jake Armitagi. Oi, easy there. In a quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who's just woken up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. He spots a data jack drilled into his temple and some semi-elastic tattoos peeking out his collar. An interesting combination. Yeah, it really is, considering the fact that magic and tech in this setting really does not mix. I mean, in the actual like pen and paper board game, mages and stuff can actually detect people that have like cybernetic augmentations by just like looking at their bodies and seeing that they have like if you think of like chi or like life force going around your body, when you put augmentations in, that area basically goes dark because it's not there anymore. So a mage can just like look at someone and detect that they've basically got augmentations, although I think they have to go in like to the astral, which is like the spirit plane of existence. I told John to wake me up at 6 in the morning. It's 6. It's 6 yet. It doesn't feel like 6 yet, murmurs Jack, Amatagi uneasily. What do I look like, a damn alarm clock? You were just asleep in a freezer for dead people. Sorry, don't expect you to be so alive. Let's go. What do I look like, a damn alarm clock? Give me a break, chummer. Haven't had my soy calf yet. Yeah, also there's this, in this universe, real coffee for all those who love their coffee. Real coffee is actually really hard to get hold of. It's not like super rare, but it's not cheap anymore. Like, if you want cheap stuff, you get soy calf, which I believe is like basically soy caffeinated stuff. It's not, it's like, yeah, it's not, it doesn't sound nice. He chuckles. Jack Amatagi chuckles. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I notice you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. He pauses. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? The latest Ripper victim, did you know him? I'll ask the questions. What the hell are you doing in a morgue's drawer? I'm looking into death for Sam Watts. The coroner seems to think you can help me out. Let's go with this one. Well, playing dead mostly. A bunch of gangsters out there want my head, and I'd rather keep it, he chuckles. I'd figured I'd lay low for a while, give them some time to cool down. Jack yells towards the other side of the room. John, is this lady cool? Dresden, yeah, she's on the level, working for Sam. Believe it or not, some sort of dead man switch. Thought you could help her out, maybe even stop moping around the shop all day. Jack grins. Thanks for volunteering me. He pauses. Might be sizing you up, but it's hard to tell behind those sage. Alright then, name's Jack, and you are? You can call me Cornish-Knight. I'm still waiting for the end of your story. Nice to meet you, Jack. I'm Cornish-Knight. We shouldn't pry too much, because like, if he's a Shadowrunner and we're a Shadowrunner, you don't really want to pry too much of people's backstories, because they probably just shoot you to keep it quiet. Call me Cornish-Knight. Nice to meet you. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here, John's right. I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night, the night of the murder, poor guy. He was hanging at the Seamstresses Union that night. Tripped out and rowdy. I'd been laying low there for a few days after a bad run. Miss Kabuta asked me to throw Sam out, so I did. But out in the alley, some gangsters got the jump on me. He winces. Damn, maybe I need some soy calf after all. John, could you grab me a cup? Dresden just glances over. Get your own damn cup, he shouts. My hands are dirty anyway. Now, what's wrong with this intestine? You hear a loud squelching sound as Dresden continues his work. Nah. Thanks, John, he sighs. Jack, you're a real pal anyway. There's this big fat corp bounty on my head. Like I said, the last job didn't exactly go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got a jump on us. Damn gangsters thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jack smiles. You get the impression that didn't work out so well for the gangsters. Basically, in this universe, like, because like public security, like the police force, is basically corporate run. Corporations like will put bounties out on people's heads, and it's like open hunting season really, and so you'll get other Shadowrunners, police forces, mafia, criminal organisations, everyone gunning for you if it's big enough. Sam stumbled off during the fight though, and that's the last time I saw him until he turned up here dead on dead arrival. Reminds me of my last stay in this place. You've done this before, great, so you don't know everything about his death. Do you know anything else? The thing is, I don't want to push him too much of his backstory in case he turns on me. Do you know anything else? I know they found his body a block away from the Union, just lying there in broad daylight. That's the Barrens for you. Jack looks down, he expressed masked by chrome and crimson glass. Shame though, which had been there if those flogging gangsters hadn't come along. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. Big leaders got the whole gang searching the Barrens for me. I need to get rid of those assholes. In return, he states, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit those streets alone at night, trust me. Jack eyes you up and down, and maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What you say? It's nice to have someone watching me back out there, assuming you can you can trust them. I don't work for free. I fight. I get paid in yen, not tours. I do a little bit of street justice every now and then. Alright, Jack, come in. Okay, let's be honest about this. We can't trust him because he's just a bloke we've met in a morgue drawer. So I don't work for free. I fight. I get paid in yen, not tours. Guess I say the same. And your sue is fine. Here's a credit stick for 1,000 yen with my name on it. Help me get dust those gangsters and it's yours. Make it 150. Deal. Let's try 150. Hard bargain, alright, 150 years, but you better be worth it. I'm good for a fight if you're good for the money. Great, I've been handing out here ever since that run-in with the Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangsters, but this stretch of the Barrens is their turf. Hell, I'm surprised you even made it to this morgue in one piece without picking some heat. Dresden yells over his shoulder. Very funny, Jack. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow. So you need a weapon. Give me a pistol, I'm good with a shotgun. Happen to have an SMG of you. I like keeping my distance. Got a rifle. No guns for me, melee's my game. Let's see, do you have a rifle? Don't like library windows, do you? So you don't like library windows, do you? Never mind. Here's a rifle you can borrow. Okay, I take it that's making a reference to the Kennedy assassination. Because the assassin was basically from a public library window, if I recall correctly. So ready even out. So ready for an evening out in the town. Just a minute. Tell me about some of these gangsters first. I'm ready. Just watch my back. Don't make me regret this. If you're buying. Let's see what we're up against. Well, one of the nastier gangs in town. Their symbol is a flaming jack-o'-lantern. Really interesting in folklore. Like jack-o'-lantern basically comes from the folklore story of Jack of the Lantern, or basically an individual that had basically a lantern, like a wandering soul with a lantern. It's really interesting. I suggest you look it up. And it basically turns into jack-o'-lanterns. But you won't like their version of trick-or-treating very much around here. They led by a troll by the name of John Paul. He's got all the Halloweeners in the Barrens looking for me. If we take him out, maybe we can breathe a bit easier. I'm ready. Just watch my back. Don't make me regret this. You follow my lead. I'll follow your lead. The Halloweeners aren't looking for you yet. Let's get going then. And we exit the level. The Redmond Barrows. Run in the Seattle spawn. Sooner or later you'll find yourself in the Redmond Barrows. Doesn't matter your business, the Barrows don't like you. Tourist trap, and you've got a recipe for hell. You will leave the sanitized death and formaldehyde of the organ grinders behind. Entering the anarchy and desperation of the streets, Jack stops a moment to breathe deeply, filling his lungs with motorcycle exhaust, radioactive dust, cordite, and who knows what else. He exhales with an expression of wry contentment, and the stretching and grim tell him he's home. The stench and grime tells him he's home. Yeah, basically because corporations pretty much run most of the Western world by this point. The environmental concerns have sort of gone out the window, especially considering magic is running havoc. You have talking trees, and you could sit down on a park bench and something could eat you. It's not particularly pleasant, but that's in the more unstable areas. My stats just around the corner. Mission added. Jack safe mag key. So what are we looking at? Mag key. Right, find Jack's stash. So what we got on us? The most common assault rifle in the world, the AK-97. So basically the more modern version of the AK. What is he carrying? Because we can check for other people's equipment. Ares Predator. The Ares Classic is a classic considered the premier heavy pistol. And he's got spells. So what's his class? This is interesting. He's actually got cyberware. See, look, he's got essence. This is what essence is. Requirement for Rigors and Deckers for those that have used a Smart Link weapon. Basically, Smart Linking gives you an aiming bonus. and other kinds of stuff. Essence is basically like how much magical potential you have, so he's actually damaged his ability to use magical spells like flamethrower. Oh, so he's a mage. Is he like a technomancer? Technomancers are individuals that basically can use technology and magic. They're quite rare because obviously technology interferes with magic. So he's got what? Heal wounds, flamethrower, and aim. Okay. I did say we were going to turn up the difficulty. Oh, sorry, that's not the difficulty. Where is the difficulty? I thought there was a way to turn it up. Yeah, that's not fantastic. Maybe there isn't. If that's the case, I am sorry about this. We'll have to play it on normal. I wish there was a way. I thought you could actually mess with the difficulty at any point, or was that a different game? It may be a different game. Okay, let's get going. Does the boss stop? Does the boss stop here? Probably not, and I wouldn't want to be the bus driver that did anyway. What was that? Looking for a date. Dwarves are my favourite. That's reassuring. Who's this? Sarah. And there's our objective. So let's grab the objective first and we'll go talk to her. In we go. Move the robbers out of the way, and there's a hidden crate. Hidden in the garbage-strewn alley is a high-tech safe with a mag card reader on the front. Really? It doesn't look like a particularly fantastic place to hide a safe. Well, the problem is, like, in an area like this you will have actually people going through the rubbish. Open the safe with Jack's mag rail. With a smooth hiss, the safe opens to reveal the collection of gear. Perfect match for your skills. Take the gear. Power bolt, basic medkit, frag grenades. Hand over the loot, buzzers. Oh, I got shot bad. I'm wounded. Get wrecked. Never mess with a person with an assault rifle at close range. Right, so what has he got? He's got a pistol in his fist, he's got his spell book. We can hit him. He's supposed to be a jack-o'-lantern anyway, isn't he? And then we'll put a bullet in him as well. Oh, I'm taking bullets all over the place. Get to cover quick. Single shot. May put a round for his chest. Jack Amatagi, so welcome to the Barrens. Guess I need to find a new spot to hide my gear. Dead drops are hard to find. So hard to keep. Some dreck in every city these days. So I should invest in real estate around here. Jack chuckles. Well, at least they were too dumb to break my mag lock. Now you've got some gear. Let's go deal with these Halloweeners. This is the thing I'm like really nervous about. I'm a mage. Okay, I do have spells now. Power bolt. The most basic spell every mage knows and always has ready. Target against one arm will last 2 rounds. How's my health looking? Can't tell. Oh, I just hover over her. Her health isn't great. I really don't want to use a medikit. I'll wait for a fight. I've got 3 of them. Activate. Yeah. So I took 9. I took a quite bad beating then. Let's see what... Worried man. The man before you appears well-mannered but nervous. Excuse me, ma'am, I don't know you. But you look like you could handle yourself in a fight. We need some help. What's your problem? I only fight when I'm paid to. Calm down. Well, let's do with this one. Oh, we can pay you. Some folks are taking down the market we set up here. It's been getting worse lately. Don't think we can afford to pay them forever, but no one will stand up to them, and Lone Star isn't about to get involved. Where's this market of yours at? How many of them are there? How much are you paying? If it's my way, I can help. I think there's about 2 of them right now. I can't talk about price, but Miss James will certainly reward you fairly. Well, my current client is pretty patient. Where are they? Not good enough. I'll get some important things to do. See what I can do. Where did you say the market was? Oh, thank you. Just head north. You'll see it at the end of the street. That sounds about right. Well, Sam is dead, so there's no real pressing concern for us. Sarah, her clothes may be dirty, but this woman is far from downtrodden. Hey, not that is my business, but I wouldn't go that way. Why? What's going on? Just some Halloweeners stirring up trouble again. She points to the south. They rode in this morning on their fancy bikes, set up camp in the Old Street Market. They've been marching up and down the street all day, taking down anyone that wanders past. Typical. Well, odds are these are the guys we're after. Anything else to know about these gangsters? Sounds like a friendly bunch. Are you going to be safe out here? They're going to be in for a rude surprise. You might want to clear out before the shooting starts. Anything else to know about the gangsters? Well, the leader's a big troll by the name of John Paul. Real piece of work, even for a wiener. Yep, that's him. Chuckles Jack as he checks his pistol. Sounds like a friendly bunch. You're going to be safe out here. They're going to be in for a rude surprise. You might want to clear out before the shooting starts. Sarah looks over and nods. Don't need to worry about me. I know where to lay low. I know how to lay low. They're a tough bunch, though. Don't say I didn't warn you. Right, so they're down here somewhere, I take it. And we'll quickly do a dismission and then we'll call it quits for the day. Sorry that it took so long to get to this point. Commerce is like a weed, taking root in the cracks and crevices of the world wherever it can. A small street market has flourished here, amidst the crumbling buildings of the Raymond Barrows. Look, mate, pay up. But we barely have enough of anything left. Not my problem. Pay up by morning or else. Let's talk to him. Head thug. The thug attempts to use his bulk and hideous breath to intimidate the poor shopkeeper. The old woman is holding firm, but you can see the thug's patience fading fast, and he looks like he's about to start breaking things. Head thug. Who the hell are you? We could try and strengthen him. Etiquette. If we had gang of etiquette, we could probably have convinced him to leave. I'd like to pay for a month's protection dues. How much it costs? I've heard about you. Why don't you piss off? Bet your mum's real proud of you right now. I'm not going to pay. I've heard about you. Why don't you piss off? Nah. I've heard your mum's really proud of you right now. Okay, let's go with... This one is like insulting him directly because it's his mother. This one is basically gonna... well, they're both bad. If you're gonna go to hell, go direct, as they say. Like, I ain't never heard of this before. Can't see a badge, so why don't you mind your own? Because I'm sick of gutter punks like you. Business dust you is going to get me paid. I knew you were just looking to cause static. Dash ISIS lady. Right, she's got a pistol. And now we've got our magic. We've got a magic spell. And we have mana bolts. So how much damage is that going to cause? Or we can just spray and pray. I wish we could see how much damage it causes. I think it's not that much, but it's basically really good for long distances. As you can see, 82 compared to 72 compared to 77. So at longer distances we got an advantage. So I'm going to switch to full like twin burst and shoot him. Oh, we missed. I thought we'd kill him outright. Okay. He's only got a bullet with aim, but we do have fire magic. And took him out of the fight. Then we've got to put a bullet in her. Ooh, excellent, Mrs. James. Cannot thank you enough. I hate to see such bloodshed, but those men would not take no for an answer. I simply want to make our way in the world. To stop people hold out a few new yen, please. It's the least I can do. Take the new yen. Keep it. You need it for more than I do. To be honest, we're getting paid for this. Plus, yeah, let's take the money. 48 new yen. It's not much. I should have just turned it down. Probably could have got karma points for it. But I love the art style in this game. Look, it's like you've got like Japanese and like neo-fluorescent lighting mixed in with like shamanistic Native American totems, and it's just fantastic. I love the art style in this game. It's so good. We got 3 karma points. Okay, this we can work with. Is there anything we can boost? Magic. Charisma. We could get charisma up to level 3, which would be nice. Let's do that. There we go. Because you never need to know when you need to talk your way out of a situation. And with that, folks, I think we're going to call it quits. We've been on the hunt for Sam's murderers, but first we have to go and deal with some Jack-o'-lantern wannabes, or Jack Skeleton wannabes, or the Headless Horseman wannabes, whoever you want to call them. They're going to die screaming, so wish us all the best of luck. I shall see you in the next episode. I've been Cornish-Knight, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.